Hi, I'm Devorah Roberts.
I'm Ashley Bell.
And this is your Once Upon a Review.
So we watched the mid-season finale.
And it was great, actually.
It was awesome. It felt tied together.
It felt well-paced. There was always a sense of urgency, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of character development happening at the same time as plot development. So
Yeah, and it was a lot of other character development they'd been building up to, showing itself in really interesting ways.
And it's just kind of like all encapsulated at once, and I was like, I want to see the next episode now.
Yeah, so all of you who are watching this have probably seen it, so y'all know the plot. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the plot, but we're going to talk about things that were really interesting to us.
You go first.
All right, so one thing that really surprised me in this episode was Anna and Kristoff and how much I cared about them, how their relationship worked, how it seemed to be natural and make sense, and also when Anna and Elsa got reunited, I like cried a little bit.
Me too.
And I did not expect to care about their relationship much at all, but it really felt real. And it built itself up so well in all the other episodes in a way that really proved itself.
Yeah, it's like, even though I haven't loved this storyline so far, the payoff was just really good. The scene where Anna and Kristoff were like almost drowning, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It would be really cool if they actually killed them off, but I know they're not going to.
No, I didn't.
But
it was nice to see Anna lose hope for like the first time, which is like not something we've really seen. She like pretty much gave up, and Kristoff was really there for her, and that was just so nice to see.
Speaking of relationships, Hook and Emma. You know, Hook's still going through the whole Rumple has his heart. Is he going to die? Is he going to keep going? He doesn't know. And then he goes to say goodbye to Emma when the spell is about to be cast. And I'm just like, my heart is breaking. I'm crying just a little bit. And Emma's crying. And I'm just like, oh.
Also, what's her face who plays Emma is such an amazing
Jennifer
actress.
Morrison.
Is
I
amazing.
Love her. Like if you
she can
watch
cry
these
like
reviews,
nobody else.
Oh my god, I felt everything for her this episode. Emma's my favorite character, so I'm just like, yes, you're doing so great.
Speaking of favorite characters,
Henry.
Henry did a little bit.
A tiny bit. Henry watch.
Yeah. He had his whole mom split thing, which didn't feel like a competition of who was going to hold on to Henry. It felt like they agreed in necessity that Henry was most important. And that was really cool. And Henry ultimately made the choice to stay with Regina rather than Emma, which was also 100% okay. He believes in her, Operation Mongoose and all that jazz. It was just really nice to see Henry's relationship, but I feel like it would have been better if it were built upon a little bit more.
Yeah.
There needs to be more Henry next half of the season, please, because I just love Henry.
I know, he was the catalyst of the storyline. He just hasn't got enough to do. I thought it was interesting when Rumple was doing his whole, I'm going to take Belle and Henry along.
Yeah.
It was just, we never really saw any interaction between Rumple and Henry this episode, which I thought was a little strange.
It's just like his bloodline, and it's like Neil's son and stuff, and I kind of get it, but it's definitely not shown that well. And Rumple is supposed to be this really clever, smart person who gets people and knows what they're going to do, and what I don't understand is why he thinks, like, Emma and Regina are going to just let him take Henry without any consequences.
I think with that, it's more of just I'm the Dark One, I have a lot of magic, I can do anything, they can't stop me.
But they can, and we know that.
I don't know, I feel like over the seasons, his ego has kind of been built up even more than it was. I feel like he's been kind of blinded by the fact that he's had so many supporters the last couple of seasons.
True.
So it's just like, oh, they're not going to do anything to me, and the fact that he's won Belle over. I don't really like the storyline in particular, but I thought it was interesting. There is this one line he said to Hook where Hook's going like, you could have Belle forever, why are you doing this? And he's like, it doesn't mean I can't have both. Yeah. Like both power and Belle. So like I was like, okay, so I see the bit of motivation there. Yeah. I still think it's a bit out of the blue in some ways, but I've become used to it this season.
Yeah. The Snow Queen did not have much to do at all though, actually.
She just kind of made some scary faces.
Yeah, I guess because she was winning. That's pretty much what it was, as the curse was being said. She was winning. Speaking of couples and curses and sad things, Charming and Snow.
I am so excited for them to go at it next episode.
No, I'm so scared.
No, I don't know why I'm so excited. I get because maybe they're just this perfect couple all the time.
I guess, yeah.
So I'm just like really excited to see them air out their differences. Although a lot of it looks like it's gonna be Snow and Regina attacking each other, which is also gonna be really awesome.
Well, Regina locked herself away, which can I admit was awesome.
That was so smart.
It was such a cool scene where she was like, okay, but what's his face was like, I'm not afraid of you. Robin wasn't afraid of her, and she's like, well, you really should be. She's so terrified of herself, and that was so powerful for me to watch.
A+ acting on Lana Parrilla's part. Like, wow. I thought I mean, the Regina Robbins storyline hasn't been one of my favorites, but wow, her actress is fantastic.
She really sells it. Even though it's not, it still seems a little out of character to me for all of it. She still really sells it. But I want to go back to Snow real fast, because I was screaming at the TV when she had the baby in the cell, and I was like, are you going to keep the baby? You're going to kill the baby. Please don't keep the baby. Oh my God, what's going to happen to the baby?
And then she gave it to
And I was like, oh my God. I was so worried about the baby.
I was so worried about the baby.
Oh my God.
I know I never spoke about this, but the fact that his name is Neil just really creeps me out. I'm just like, you realize you named your son after your daughter's ex-fiance.
It's a little weird, but it also makes sense because they love Henry and it's his father.
I just still think it's so strange on so many levels.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know,
Henry has a father and an uncle named Neil.
Henry should have had a kid named Neil. That's how it goes. Like.
Yeah. I mean, I still get it because he had like saved his life, saving all of them in a way, or sacrifice. Yeah. So it makes sense, but it's also weird because of I'm waiting for them to explain to Elsa or Anna or whatever the age difference thing.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did mention that.
She was like, "Oh, how are you?" And it's like another time.
Oh, I thought it was really funny. There was that one little off thing where I was like, "Oh, this is such a weird world."
Yeah.
And then Elsa's like, "Right?" I'm just like, "Oh, that's
like it's such a nice little. You put the time in to make that line, and it's funny, and it reminds us that they're from somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
So.
What else is going on this episode? Belle's being a magical researcher.
Yeah, she's actually doing pretty cool stuff, trying to save the day. It's just hard because
I don't care about her.
I do. I liked what she was doing. She seemed smart. I just wish all of her efforts didn't go to waste because she was with Rumple.
Yeah.
I don't really ship them much
I don't
at
ship
all
them at
anymore.
all.
I feel used to a little bit.
It just feels like such an abusive relationship to me. And it's like, even though she loves him a lot, that doesn't mean it's abuse. It's not abusive.
Yeah, you can definitely love your abuser. And your abuser can definitely be nice to you a lot of the time, but they're still abusive.
But it's still abusive. He makes the decision for what they're gonna do. He doesn't consult her. He's always trying to overpower her.
Anything. Yeah.
It's just like the whole giving her the dagger was just a ploy to make it act like he was giving her power. So it's really uncomfortable. It makes me very uncomfortable that the rest of the fandom really ships them when it's just obviously not a healthy relationship.
It really isn't. Like Hook and Emma is a healthy relationship,
Even
though neither of them are perfect.
No,
they definitely haven't been perfect to each other.
And Hook's been really bad in the past.
They respect each other and their decisions, and see each other as equals, and consult each other about a lot of stuff. Not everything, but that's fair. But it's not they're making decisions for each other or making them feel bad about anything they do anymore, and they let the past go in a way, and it's a lot of good stuff. Yes. And I think
it's been a lot of build up with them.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of good relationships in the show, and I definitely saw Rumple and Belle at first, you know, the whole I can change him thing, but
even then, that's not a great way to enter a relationship.
No, it's definitely not. But there's all kinds of issues with it. But it's still something I can kind of see shipping if he does actually change, which he did.
It hasn't, and he's
getting worse.
I wish they would cut the relationship off at this point, but if they know what their fandom wants, they're not going to.
They might.
I don't know.
Degrassi did it.
That's true, but Once Upon a Time isn't Degrassi.
No, but they cut their biggest their biggest shipping. They have if they keep other ships slash at least give them the hope that maybe if he changes she'll come back. They'll do it.
Okay, it all depends on where Hook and Emma goes, because if they kill off Hook, then they're screwed.
Yeah, but we've been talking too long. I don't know what else to say.
Oh yeah, I mean, I really like this episode. I'm really excited for next episode.
I'm glad Grumpy had some lines.
Oh yeah, I was grumpy. Yeah, it was just a great episode overall. I give it an A.
A+.
A+. Okay. Bye guys. This has been Once Upon a Review.